Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's Brian and Jim here with Drink a Beer and Play a Game, and welcome to another episode of the Power Hour.
How you doing, everybody? Welcome to episode 73.
Jim, it is ball-sweatingly hot outside.
Yes, it is. Even if you spend like 10 minutes outside with the sun beating on you, you will be drenched.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. But that's why you need good beers.
Yeah. That's why you need light, refreshing, cold ones.
Jim.
We might get into that later. The battle of Brian's hatred. Foreshadowing.
Jim, are you drinking something light and refreshing right now?
No, Brian. I am drinking the Double Scatterbrain DDH with Citra. Comes to us from the Bearded Iris Brewing Company out of Nashville, Tennessee. 8% alcohol by volume. Nice little pounder here. A double IPA with pine, passion fruit, and citrus. The cultivate variety.
Is this from the thing Sandy got you?
Yeah, it's from the Craft Beer King beer subscription box that my wife got me, which I have a fresh box that I will be opening up for another review video like I did for Craft Beer Club.
Nice. Yeah, today I'm not trying. I always do that. It's my final beer from a whole bunch of randos I had, and it's actually the Free Will Brewing Company's chocolate caramel cookie sharing size, which is their Imperial Oatmeal Stout with chocolate caramel flavor, graham cracker, and milk sugar. Comes in, I know it's a pretty goddamn big, 10.4%.
Darn.
So, this is the one, Jim, I know you probably don't remember off the top of your head, but it's that can that everyone loved with the skull that was red and yellow background.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. These beers, man, I can't say it enough. Goddamn delicious. Especially Jim posted a picture the other day, his vegan beer.
His that was from the box.
German chocolate dessert, whatever the fuck it was.
It was like a German not bun cake, but yeah.
It was like a German chocolate cake.
Yeah.
And
it's delicious.
Yeah, you talk about a goddamn dessert beer. This right here, whoo, damn, it's a sipper though. Because I didn't see. How strong was that beer?
The one that I had? I want to say it was 10. I think it was like around 10.
Okay.
Kind of
How'd you end up
standard
liking
Saudi.
it? It was a stout, right?
Yeah. No, it was good. Real tasty. Gave you that full, like, creamy chocolate fill on the back end. The normal stout taste when it first hits your tongue. But, yeah, it was very smooth and pretty goddamn good, I gotta say. And I don't know what makes it
you're
vegan.
You're not the biggest stout guy.
Yeah, it's not my go-to, but it wasn't like overbearing either. Like if you don't like stout, if you don't generally go for stouts, but you get this, it's a good one to drink. You won't be disappointed by it.
Yeah, that's a very silly thing to write on your beer label, 100% vegan, because
no milk.
Most beer is vegan, and most stouts, unless you're a, milk stout, you are not adding milk to a beer. So, and most of the time when they say milk, it's really just lactose sugar or something. So it's very odd. Most beer is vegan by definition because it's water, hops, barley, and whatever like other flavorings you're putting in there. So odd thing they decided they needed to let everybody know. But yeah, I like how Jim
marketing.
Somehow I knew when I wrote that, like you definitely didn't even see that.
I did not.
Jim and attention to detail, they do not mix.
No, when I got like 3 vegan comments about like vegan, I was like, what the fuck is everyone talking about? And then I looked at it, I was like, oh.
That's my Jimberly Jones for you.
Yeah. Keen eyes.
So Jim, what are you playing recently? Well, I did see one of your tweets of something you were playing, but what's been taking up your time this past week?
Been playing a little bit here and there. I played a little bit of Rocket League the one night. I've started digging into Donkey Kong 64, which was Gamer Astral's Patreon request. And that's going to take me a long-ass time to get through. But I'll get through it.
I need to admit that I've never actually played it.
I never played it either back in the day.
Well, okay, we'll wait until you play a little more before we get some opinions.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I can tell you right now that when I play as Diddy Kong, I get motion sick, so this is going to be a great recording session. Because he runs a little bit too fast for, like, the frame rate and the jerkiness of the camera for back then. So I guess it's that perfect combination of, I was playing as Donkey Kong for, like, an hour, and I was perfectly fine. Then I unlocked Diddy Kong, started playing as him for, like, 15 minutes, and everything went south. I was like, oh, boy.
Were you... I mean, as far as I can think back to the past like 7 years or so. I remember you started bitching about motion sickness in games. Were you like that as a kid?
You know what? I really wasn't until the first, like, I didn't know what it was back then, but I can definitely remember the first time it happening playing, like, Grand Theft Auto 3. Like, I think it's just, like, 3D, like, third-person 3D, but, like, if the camera is either jerky enough or there's, like, too much kind of blurring for the motion, I think that's what sets me off.
Or if it's just moving too fast, maybe?
Maybe, because, like, I never had a problem with, like, Mario 64, and I rented Banjo-Kazooie as a kid, but I don't remember it affecting me back then. Maybe it was a midlife. I don't fucking know. Mid-teens, it maybe started kicking up. And it doesn't happen all the time, and it's really random games that it happens with. But, yeah, I guess it's that perfect combination of, like, motion blur and, like, jittery camera. And it doesn't happen with every game, thank God, but the ones it does happen to,
Does it happen when you're like a passenger in a car?
No. I've never had a problem with racing games.
No. I'm saying like in real life.
Oh,
Do
no.
you get it?
No.
Motion sickness with other shit.
No.
That's really weird. Yeah, I remember like I've heard you say it a couple times, and like when I first met you, I feel like some of the games we were playing, I mean, we didn't play that many racers or shit like that, but that's a very interesting, unfortunate thing that you developed over the years, Jim.
Yeah. Like, first-person shooters don't do it. No 2D game does it. And even most 3D games I don't have a problem with. It's just, every once in a while, one of them is made just that right fucking way.
That sucks. All right, well, at least you're playing through it, though. I mean, from what you've seen, is it like, even if it gives you motion sickness, is it at least kind of fun?
Yeah, no, it's fine. Like, if you've played, like, any of the N64 era collectathon rare games, it's right in line with them. It's got its annoyances already, but, like, I can see why people think it's, like, it's not bad, but it's, like, the worst of all of them, according to most people. But so far, like, I have a minor gripe even besides that, but we'll get to it later.
Okay. Nice. Yeah.
And then, also, I was playing, Waifu Uncovered on the Switch.
What's that?
Yeah,
Is that the thing that you posted the picture of?
Yeah, it's a porno shmup. Yeah.
Jim?
What? You shoot?
I want you to look at the camera and tell everyone how much you paid for that.
$6. Actually, $5.70. I had some Nintendo points.
Was that off the eShop then?
Yeah.
What reviewer played it that made, or what person posted about it that made you think you wanted to do that? Because there's no way you just were shopping the eShop and you said, this looks like something I want.
Oh, no. It was just a couple random posts on Twitter, and it's like, oh, it's a shmup. Oh, this girl's clothes are coming off as you do better. Oh, I'm going to download this. That was pretty much a conversation in my head.
Jim. Damn it, Jim. I'm at least happy you only paid $5 or $6 for it. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Quality of dollars.
Don't justify that.
Oh, I'm justifying. We're going to review it. We're going out. And you get to blur out the nipples.
Nope. I'm leaving it up, and we're getting our first official strike.
All right, that's fine. Oh, no, all of our success is going to go out the window. Oh, God.
Well, considering we didn't blur anything with Strip Fighter, and we didn't get any bullshit for that, so I don't see how we're going to get some weird,
limited advertising. We got limited advertising. We got the yellow.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Yeah, I've had an interesting week of games. Since we last talked, I obviously did the Atari horror games last Thursday. I
was on vacation when you did that the first time, so that was like 2 Thursdays ago.
Okay, so wait, never mind. Yeah, so I didn't. So I must have already talked about that. So this past Thursday, I did A Nightmare on Elm Street on the NES, and I gotta say, that game, I may do some kind of mini review called an unfiltered review, so it's not so structured. But what's a shame with that game is it kind of looks okay. The music is really good, and that was one of the things I have to say right off the bat. Thank you to everyone who came out and joined the stream.
Oh, yeah.
That had a great turnout. But everyone kept commenting, like, yo, who composed this? Was it Rare? Was it like... And I know Todd spelled it out and gave us the answer, but the game's sound is actually pretty damn good, and it is catchy as hell. It gets stuck in your head. Unfortunately, and I'm not even going to be one of these people that say just because it's an LJN game, it just has some of the really annoying classic NES game mechanics of respawning enemies, being way too hard. Some of the jumps are damn near impossible, and terrible hit detection, as you guys saw as I went through that. So I played that, obviously, by Saturday. I went back, I beat it. I'm glad I'll never pick up that game again. I did a lot more Call of Duty because I did some more challenges with that. And I got to the final level of Tiny Tank. I don't know if I'm actually beating that game.
Really?
But, yeah. I'm going to say something here because I don't know if I want to cover it in the review. And maybe it will definitely be controversial, and I'm not doing it just to piss you off. But I think I like that, and I think it has much more to it than Star Fox 64. Because I was comparing it to that, and I'm sure you're giving a face right now.
I am.
But for one, it doesn't have the annoying ass, what the hell is that frog's name? Slippy. It has way better voice acting and really good humor, and you and I talked about that, and we'll talk about that more.
Oh, yeah.
But the humor gets better in this game, and this is a game I've never heard of. Our buddy Nerdy Nick, this was his request for Patreon, and I gotta say, this went completely under my radar, and it's really like...
Same here.
It has the most interesting motion for an early PlayStation game, where you are a tank, but you can also kind of fly, you can do barrel rolls, you can hover. Like, you actually have a lot more motion than I discovered as I kept playing, and you keep upgrading your tank throughout levels, and you can adjust where you put weapons. And I thought of early shooters like that, and one of them was Star Fox, and the thing I realized with Tiny Tank was just there's a shit ton of levels, and there's a lot more to the game, and it's honestly, no one else is ever going to agree with me on this, but I think you get more bang for your buck, and it's better produced overall than Star Fox. So it was just interesting, and like I said, I wasn't trying to say that to piss you off, Jim.
I know. No, I did. I mean, I got to find another PlayStation because, yeah, mine crapped out halfway through, but I was enjoying what I played of it.
Yeah, remember a few podcasts ago, for those watching, Jim talked all this shit that I cheaped out on a game, and here we are once again. Jim just has shitty equipment, he has shitty internet, and he talked all this shit about me buying the game, and I played through the entire thing. What can I say?
Now, you got it buffed. You can't prove to me that you didn't. Shenanigans, I said.
How can I have it buffed, Jim?
You would have buffed it. You would have found a way.
I'm not going to spend that much time trying to prove you wrong.
Your levels of spite.
Jim, you don't make me work for those levels, though. It almost comes too easy. And then I retried doing that fucking Frankenstein's monster game.
Yeah, you did.
That game is... God damn, is it the most dog shit. I was convinced the reason why I couldn't beat it the first night I streamed it was because I just drank too much. I was playing other games. I was trying to rush. No, it really is just god friggin' awful. So, yeah, those are basically the main games I've been playing this past week. But, yeah.
Solid selection.
Jim, one tangent I did want to go on before we hit Patreon questions.
Go on.
Because you just reminded me of that with the spiting you. This could even go back to Jim's Terrible Decisions, that beautiful segment that people really want me to start bringing back. You have this uncanny ability that, you're like a kid who has a, what were those things called? The calendar's a word a day. It's a new word you learn, and then people use it.
Okay,
You do that with Twitter all the fucking time, and for this past 2 or 3 weeks... I swear, every time I get an update that you post something, you're saying the term, I unironically, da-da-da-da-da.
I did it twice.
And you did it at least 4 different times about people's picture, about a video game, about a thumbnail. I unironically loved it. And then you got called out on the bullshit of you
when I used it wrong and then stupidly. Yeah.
Jim wrote, how do you unironically or
no? It was for that. It was for that wall of games that you hate. What do you call it? Unnecessarily. Well, yeah. What do you call it? Yeah. I said I unironically love this, and he was like, "How would you ironically love it?" And I was like, "I don't know."
Yeah, it was some. No. It wasn't that. It was, see, Jim, you just spout out shit. You're not even right. You talked about how you, like, somebody ironically. You said, imagine unironically giving this much money to somebody.
Oh yeah. That's
and somebody's like, how do you ironically give money to a streamer or to a video? And you're like, I don't know. But that's what you do.
I know
like,
now. Yeah, fuck you money, and you just throw it out there just for the meme. There you go. It's like buying Gamer Girl bathwater. There you go. See, I redeemed myself.
There's nothing ironic about that.
Yes, it is.
Still giving them the money.
Doing it
that's
for the
like
meme.
Saying,
because you don't really want. It's because you don't really want it, but you're doing it anyway for stupid purposes. So there you go.
Jim, is this how you ironically kept giving all those blowjobs in college? Was it because you just did it as a goof?
Nah, dude, those are out of love and necessity.
It cracks me up because now I'm starting to see you use terms like a high schooler like figures them out. Like when I said I didn't know today, when you called that guy a super Chad, I said I can't even tell if you're being serious anymore. Like you're just using these terms, and I don't even know which guy you're referring to. Like you throw things out there, and it always makes me just shake my head, Jim.
No. I was making fun of Ian Miles Chong.
I don't know who that is. Was he the one that was commenting on the guy, or was he the guy who posted the original?
He was the guy commenting on the guy.
Okay.
He has his own set of lore, which we don't need to go into. It's too much.
No. But like I said, so I'm hoping this is the death of Jim writing unironically, because I don't want to see it again about anything, because you've already used it too much.
I'm not tweeting right now with the word in it.
You son of a bitch. I unironically like to use the word unironically. All right, so let's just go ahead, dive into Patreon, Dimmy, and take us on a tangent, but you've reminded me of that stuff.
All right.
Jim, stop playing with your phone.
You
son of a bitch. You see what I deal with, folks?
But yeah, so patreon.com/DrinkABeerandPlayAGame, where for as little as $2 a month, you can ask a question that we will answer on each and every single Power Hour podcast. So we don't have a lot this week, but it's all good. We're trying to not make this podcast last 3 hours anyway. So first up from Game Whisperer Dean, DBPG Discord when? Parentheses, such a gamer astral question. Yes, it is.
I hate Discord, and
so do I.
The problem is every time I like you had me install it when we were on that Team Laser Mouse and for something else, and I swear to God, even when I try to turn off notifications, I feel like I get pop-ups on that on my computers, so I uninstall it. I'll this is showing my age. I don't get it. I don't know what the real purpose of it is. I feel like it's a Reddit or another version for gamers, but I'm never going to use it. So unless Jim decides he wants to dive down that different social media hub, I'm never going to I'm good with doing the YouTube and the Twitch and the website. I'm staying off Discord.
Yeah, I'm good enough with Twitter. I've been in on my personal Discord, I'm in a few, but I almost never log in because every Discord just turns into pure cancer where it's just people bitching that they don't have more permissions and allowances and a higher ranking than other people, and it's always people talking behind each other's backs. It's every Discord I've ever been in, it's always been toxic in one way or another, and I'm not using it in that this is problematic and toxic way. No, it just becomes it becomes insufferable. So yeah, I don't do the Discord thing. So we would only. So
is it like AOL chat rooms?
Kind of, and you can make different rooms for different topics, and when we were on Thought Cops' episode, it is a cool way to talk to each other and be able to access files and shit like that. It is useful in ways like that, but I just don't care enough. I would have to run it, and I have no interest in running a Discord. Anyone who's ever run a Discord always winds up hating their life. So no, thank you. I'll stick.
I kind of feel the same way about Reddit.
Yeah, I've tried to get our shit onto Reddit, and so many Reddits are or subreddits, like their rules are so just pain in the assy about how you have to go about like putting stuff on there or whatever post you do, that it's just I don't have the patience for it. Like Reddit's its own little community of people who think people on Reddit are smarter than everyone else, and I just can't deal with it. It's its own little environment, and I'm too old for it.
Yeah. So sorry, Astral. That's
No, that was Dean. Game was bro.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think that's in our future.
Yeah. Maybe if I make a $20 Patreon tier and everyone gets to it, then we can have a Discord.
So if you make a $20 Patreon tier, you're doing the truffle shuffle for everyone.
Yeah, $20 is $20. And last up, from Eric Glowacki. I've always been too scared to try World of Warcraft based on how many friends I saw get addicted to it. Were either of you World of Warcraft players? And if you were, what did you do to break yourself of the habit?
So I did a free trial, I think this is gonna be funny. I think the reason what got me into it was the South Park episode.
That's a great episode.
And yeah, it's an amazing episode. And it was I tried it. It wasn't for me. That's the easiest way I can put it. I could see where the fun is, but as Jim and I have said, I feel like that's a game that maybe if you grew up with and you have the time to grind out and do this and meet up with people and you have your friends, it's probably a much better game. I was doing it as a very, very casual, I logged in a few times. Excuse me. I did a few things, but it just never grabbed me. I uninstalled it before I had to actually pay for it. And that was it. Like I said, I'm sure it's built very well and it's great, but I've never, ever been a fan of that style of game. Like that, like I said, there's just something about that that's never really appealed to me. So I fortunately, I've never got sucked into it, so I can't give you advice on how to pull out of it. But if you're someone who thinks you can just try it out and, maybe get into it or not, it really comes down to your personality type.
Yeah, the only MMORPG I ever really played for any amount of time was City of Heroes and City of Villains. And even then, I only played it for maybe 6 months tops. Didn't help that my laptop at the time fucking chugged when I tried to play it. And I was using my neighbor's stolen internet, so that wasn't helping either. But regardless of that, yeah.
I remember that. You almost convinced me to get into those games. I remember, was it your laptop we were playing that off of?
Yeah, because I was the one who had it.
Yeah, I love the idea of that game, but yeah, that was another one. I never committed to getting into it, and yeah, like a perfect example of a game I should get into is Skyrim, or the not Skyrim, Elder Scrolls Online. But yeah, MMORPGs, yeah, they don't do it for me.
Yeah, the only other one I ever played was Phantasy Star Universe, but I never played the online MMO part. I just did the story. So I have 400 points of, back when I was an achievement whore, you play through the story, you get 1,000 points. But there was that 500 points that you need to play online for, but you had to pay for a subscription for Phantasy Star Online on top of what I would have been playing for Xbox Live. And I was like, I'm not doing this. So that would have been the only other one.
Was Phantasy Star, wasn't that the one that was the old, was it PC or Dreamcast game?
Yeah, Phantasy Star Online was Dreamcast, then it got ported to GameCube, and then Universe was on to 360 and PC.
But I remember it was Dreamcast, that was one of the big gets, was holy shit, doing this MMORPG online.
Oh, yeah.
It was a big deal back in the day. Yeah, I never knew anybody personally, but I remember hearing a lot about it.
Yeah, I played it locally with my buddy, my buddy Ryan, Geek USA, our patron. Mm-hmm. And, we spent a summer playing through the GameCube version of it. Doing it locally, doing all the grinding and all that shit. And, no, it's fun, but it's just, all those kind of games are just such a time sink that I don't think I could ever dedicate that much time into it.
Yeah, that's one genre I can safely say I'll probably never sit down and really dump time into, like you're saying.
Yeah, even with Diablo 2, to my shame, I never dumped that much time into it just because at least Diablo has an end goal, where a lot of the RPGs really don't, where it's just dungeon crawling and looting and shit like that and trying to get better stats. Whereas at least, Diablo had a real game behind it, that kind of deal. But even then, it's just so much work and grinding.
Yeah, I mean, that's honestly when I do Call of Duties or modern shooters or whatever, I kind of need an end goal. And when I get through, like, I'll do challenges and shit. Once I get past, like, doing the major challenges, that's when the game really dies off for me. I don't, like, I'm not just grinding it out for no reason or skins or whatever, or just to be the best player in the universe for a year at a certain game. It's like I need a challenge or an end goal. So, yeah, that it's not my type. But Eric, I would say if you want to try it out, like you said, just go into it saying like, I'll give it a try, and fuck it. If you get into it and you really like it and it becomes a time sink, as long as you're enjoying it. If you, for some reason, and I think we've all been there, where you fucking dedicate way too much time than you should into a game, and you say at the end of it, you're like, why did I do that? Like, I think we've been there, but hopefully it's at least you're getting an enjoyable experience out of it if you're going to do a time sink.
Yeah, for sure.
So thank you for the question, and truly thank you for all the support on Twitch, because you've been huge, and thank you very much.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Like, Twitch is actually... it's weird to be on a platform that we see some growth with. That's nice. That's a nice change of pace. But yeah,
the growth is exponential compared to YouTube.
Yes, it has been so far. Yes, it has been. So thank you, everyone, and thank you once again to all the patrons. For real, we don't deserve your money at all.
No, we love you all.
But keep doing
thank
it.
Thank you. Damn it, Jim.
But before
Jim, I should.
All right, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say.
No, go ahead.
Before we move on, just quick announcement. It was made official today by Too Many Games. They're canceling this year's event, so. Obviously, we won't be there because no one's going to be there. So, hope to see you guys there next year. It looks like everything's being canceled this year.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. We were looking forward to it, and nothing we can do. Hopefully, maybe by summer of next year, which would have been, what was it, June?
It's always
supposed to be June.
Yeah, it's always like the last weekend of June.
Yeah, hopefully it's going to be June of next year, and everyone's comfortable, and yeah, who knows? I'm not going to try to predict that shit, but... yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, Con Crud's a motherfucker, and throw a pandemic on top of it, and then everyone dies. So,
yeah. No, but Jim, I did want to mention one of the funny things about the streams, because you get off so early because you have your you're forced to go to bed.
I'm not forced to go to bed. I have to actually go to work in the morning. I'm like you.
Yeah, you're forced to go to bed. I didn't. Did I suggest what your?
You always suggest things about stuff. There's always
that
ulteriors.
I'm usually right about. But I loved, like, once you got off, once people were asking, some of my favorite questions were, so when you guys are doing reviews, do you actually hit Jim? And I said, Jim definitely gets hit a lot by me. And I said, it is a legit smack in the arm or something. Because they were like, yeah, one of the things that really questioned was when you guys did that cameo in the Console Wars video.
Oh,
it looked
Jesus.
like you really hit him in the face. And I said, no, I did hit him in the face. I said it was just choreographed. I said, now the push he fully took, but he fell into a bunch of cushions. And then I regaled them with the story of our intro video.
Oh,
where I was
that
legit
classic.
Pissed off at you. And I did make sure
Why, Why? Because you're in a car accident? Because I overslept because I was up until 5 a.m.
Because we get someone who's a legit cinematographer to agree to do something for us that you just fucking oversleep through. You won't answer your phone. You won't answer your door. And I got to drive down to your then girlfriend's house and get into a goddamn car accident. And then I come home or come to you and you're still bitching about how you're hungover. Yeah, Jim, I took some, I made sure the pulling you out of bed scene went a few more takes than I needed to.
Yeah, because we did like 20 takes of that.
Anthony's like, I think we're good. I was like, nope, we should get a couple more. And then I made sure I threw the beer at your balls.
Yes,
and
you did.
Caught you a few times. But I did say, to your credit, you will fully admit you deserved a lot of that shit.
Oh yeah, no, I dropped the ball that day. That was a bad day.
You motherfucker.
You were pissed. My girlfriend, now wife, was pissed. I was in a lot of doghouses after that day.
Can you blame anyone though?
Nah, not really. It's part of my charm. It's just one of those things you got to accept about being involved in my life.
But here's the deal. What I also explained to everyone, I said everyone who first sees anyone's interaction with you and you tell me if I'm wrong, if I'm overstating it, you can try and say it. But most people from the outside, if they see our dynamic, they see your dynamic with most of our college friends, like, man, everyone's really mean to Jim. And then the second they get to know you better, like most females that have been involved in our groups, they end up going right alongside with us. Like, God damn it, Jim, why are you dead? Like, it follows up with,
why are you the way you are?
Yeah, it doesn't take long for people to be like, the sympathy goes out the window really fast.
Yeah, I'm a piece of shit. I'm a piece of shit. What can I say?
No, I didn't. That's not what I defended you. I said, you're definitely not a piece of shit. I said, there's just an inherent, I don't even know what, you just, I also told the people on the stream about the story about that damn, I'll never let you live it down. When you did a completely different beer review for a beer that we never even drank, and you just, I said, you have an uncanny ability to really masterfully try to bullshit something, but you miss one key component that makes it all sound like complete bullshit.
Well, Bri, I've basically gotten to everything that I've ever gotten out of life through bullshitting through it, so.
Here's the deal. I think most of our group of friends from college have some area where we're good at bullshitting. Like all of us. We're all good bullshitters one degree or another. You somehow try to bullshit the bullshit, which is a different level that I've never understood.
Bullshit squared. It's like we talked about last week. I don't know a lot. Yeah. I don't know a lot about anything, but I can bullshit my way through something.
But I just love there was like other questions too about like, are you really not allowed to play video games and stuff? And I'm like, well, that's semi-true.
She tells me to play more than I actually do. She's like, you can go down, but there's always that part of me that's like, this is a trick. My wife listens. Love you, baby.
Yeah, but no, it is great because, like I said, I like having those conversations with people, like kind of off the cuff. And yeah, if anything gets pulled up about you, I'll make sure I regale it on the next podcast.
I'm just glad I'm so interesting.
But people definitely want to see me hit you more. That seems to be a consensus.
Well, thanks to just general, like, it's been enough time. We're going to start meeting up together more because we've wanted to meet up together because we always feel like we're starting reviews again, but we always feel like they're better when we're together. And we wanted to have guests on the podcast again, but that's another thing where, like, we flow better when we're next to each other, so.
Yeah, for sure. Like doing it like this, the problem is there's always that awkward pregnant pause of, is he done speaking? And then one of us like, it's annoying to do it like this, and we've done it now for months, but see, if Jim was next to me right now, he would definitely get hit.
I'm gonna miss this.
Legit hit.
I'm gonna miss these.
Yeah. Oh, Jim, I've already warned you, and I've warned many people. I said the first time we're back together, you're getting an on-camera nut shot, whether you want to or not.
No.
You're getting it. I mean, it's gonna. I mean, when have you known me to be a person that didn't say something and then didn't follow through?
Yeah.
All right, but I think I've distracted us from our topics enough. Let's move on. First topic.
We have an interesting episode of the podcast this week because a lot of the topics can be considered somewhat problematic.
You would say they're very politically charged.
I mean, not so much.
I mean, publicly, socially, whatever you want to call it. But the first
one...
A
lot of cancellations this week. A lot of cancellations.
Yeah. So the first one, it's an older article, but it is, we love beer.
It's interesting.
Comes to us from Forbes.com. Brewbound editor leaves after publicly disparaging female influencers' Instagram accounts. And Jim, I don't know if you want to give a quick little recap of what actually happened.
All right. So the summary basically is, so for those who don't know, Brewbound is one of the biggest beer review websites out there. Like, they're one of the top ones up there with, like, Beer Advocate and shit like that, or Untapped on the app side, where it's like, if you're going to be going for kind of beer news, which we talked about before, beer news is boring. It's always like, oh, this one's having a new beer. Okay, good. But this is like the site you go to. So they have a podcast, and this article's from June of 2019, I want to say. And it's called the Brewbound Podcast, which is just as creative as us being the Power Hour Podcast number 4732, which kills our SEO. And in episode 44, they were talking about an article from another site that basically was ranking beer influencers on Instagram. like the top 10. And they were joking around about, like, how, oh, we're not on there, but, they're not Instagram people. But the guy, what's his name? Chris Fernari. He was kind of a biggish wig over at Brewbound, and like what he said wasn't on its surface too bad, but I guess it was enough when you're at a site of that kind of stature, where the list was basically like, he was like, the first two were, they're pretty good, they know their stuff, and then it falls off a cliff because these chicks are pretty much just showing their boobs with a beer as an advertisement. And that's kind of the gist of what he said.
Yeah, he said, and I mean, basically what it is, it's one hoppy lady, big world, small girl, beer biddy.
Wonder who he's talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, girls in tight clothing and bathing suits and low cut. I mean, listen, Zach, don't make it so obvious. So, yeah, he says, but apparently those are the ones worth following, the ones where you're just looking at chicks. So if you want to get ahead in life on Instagram, be a girl posting with beer. I don't know. That was a weird article. Okay. So that essentially, he's pointed out something that Jim and I have talked about. Is he sound like he's a little butthurt? Yes.
But maybe slightly, but I mean, he's kind of at the gist of like, the Instagram models are getting more or bigger influencers than like people who know their stuff.
Well, here's the deal. Okay, number one.
Well, apparently from the comments section, people were like, they're mad that he said chicks. It's like, really? Is that where we're at? And this was last year, so it's even worse now.
Yeah, so this is definitely last year, but here's my other deal. And Jim and I, our site, everything.
We follow
we are No, I'm saying we are small. But Brewbound is not that big. Like, we follow some other beer podcasts, beer sites, beer things on Twitter that are much bigger than Brewbound. And for it to have gained enough traction that this guy felt the need to get kicked out, or he left because he was getting heat. Like, what do you get? 20 comments of people getting upset about this? Like, is this really something worth leaving about? Like, he's on a podcast. He's just trying to give his honest opinion. And that's one of the issues I always have, is the context of, are these guys drinking when they're doing it? Are they just bullshitting? Did he say it kind of like jokey, or did he say it like, man, these fucking shit? Like, there's a complete difference of how is he saying it. Number one, the interesting thing is, was he wrong? Like, I don't even know the article he's referring to, top 10 beer influencers. But yeah.
It was from like Up Rocks or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, if you look on Instagram and you just do hashtag beer.
No.
I promise you.
You should.
I promise you the majority of it will be a beer glass and a beer can and some angle, probably about here if you're looking at me on camera. It's around a cleavage or a girl's ass or something. Jim and I were all cool with that. Make your money, do what you gotta do. But the fact that professional, like, brewers or professional people who only want to talk about beer and podcasts get upset by this, it's like, welcome to every avenue of everything. Sex sells, whether it's movies, whether it's beer, whether it's video games. Don't make it man or woman. Sex sells. That's the shit that's gonna, the more titillizing it is. I can't
topical.
Speak. Yeah, but it's just very interesting that this guy decided to leave when it's like he didn't say something that terrible.
Yeah, you would think that he said something like way worse than he actually did. But I mean, the critics apparently derided him as being a misogynistic duo for believing they had the right to dictate how a woman should manage her social media presence. See,
I mean, critics are there to criticize, and my whole thing is, one, your site wasn't the biggest to begin with, and two, who are these critics?
It's comment sections. It's people sending angry emails.
Yeah, so it's not like a legit criticized source. If you get fucking newspaper and magazine articles written against you, I could see where that could weigh in. But if it's just a comment section in your iTunes or your YouTube, who cares, man? like we've seen, some people are just angry about everything and are looking for the next shit to be mad about. If you truly feel bad for what you said, and maybe it's a moral qualm you have, do what you gotta do. But at the end of the day, man, it's just it's very interesting how scared people are getting about this shit.
And like, here's the thing. Like, so they put out the senior executive put out an apology letter, like, immediately. Like, I'm guessing Brewbound has to be very, very corporate, and they have all these advertisements and stuff like that. When you get to that level, I get it. It's the thing you have to do.
You care about it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you have to basically appease as much people as possible and be as straight-laced and, you know, as boring as possible, basically, to appeal to as many normies as you can. But also, here's the goddamn thing. Like, people in the real world who 90% are going to be looking at what you're making, they're not the ones who are going to be commenting or living on social media. Like, they really don't care. And I'm sure a lot of the people who are commenting about, you know, saying how dare you, probably away from the keyboard, will be like, wow, these fucking whores with their tits and their beer. Like, they probably say the same shit, too. So, like, I get that there's the thing of, like, you know, don't tell a woman how to run her page, which, you know, fine, good. Like, you know, you shouldn't tell them how to run their page. And if it's working for them, more power to them. It's just, I don't know, it's crazy how fast a little comment, especially for what he said, can spin out of control. Like, he's basically like, yeah, I mean, these chicks are just showing their bodies. It's like, that's the TLDR of what he said. And it's like, wow, that's enough for him to be kicked off a page?
Yeah, and it goes back to what you just said and what we've been saying is, why even comment? Like, I love this idea, this I don't even know the correct word. Is it entitlement? Is it whatever? People think, like, I've been doing this longer, I care more about this, but this person is using what they got, and they're now more popular than me. We see it in gaming. We see it in beer. Dudes getting mad at, like, my favorite, I mean, there's actually a great correlation between beer and gaming. Like, people, how long has the argument been? It's like, oh, she's only getting followers because blah, 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 blah.
I was going to say, I was going to say real quick, like, when we get to the next topic, this will be a great transition.
Yep. Yeah. But, like, here's the deal. That's like that same stupid-ass argument when dudes are mad that another dude they know is hooking up with a chick they like. They'll be like, well, she only likes him because he has money. It's like, what the fuck? Like, what criteria would make you happy that something else, like, okay, even if somebody is only following someone because they look attractive, like, that's good enough for me. I don't care why you follow someone. Like, if you're trying to legitimize, like they act like, because even if it's true or not true, if somebody's following these beer influencers because they're hot or they're whatever, okay, who cares? Like, is it still bringing awareness to the topic that you love? Is it doing it in the fashion you want? Probably not. But then we've learned through interactions with all sorts of people, some people take this shit way too serious, man. It's fucking beer. Like, and Instagram is there for visual appeal, and then
more than any of the other ones, Instagram is there for the visual appeal.
That's all it's there for. No one's there. Have you ever truly...
Do you read the captions? Who reads the captions?
That's what I was going to say. Like, you're not going to Instagram to be informed. You go there, oh, that's a cool picture. I'm going to like it. Oh, this person keeps posting cool pictures. I'm going to like it.
When you
Stop getting butthurt that your shittily lit glass of beer is not getting the same amount of likes as someone with a killer body. Like, who the fuck cares?
Right.
Like,
correct me if I'm wrong here, but when you go to the trending page on Instagram, or even the search bar, doesn't it just come up with a wall of text of all these people's captions? I think that's how Instagram works, right? It isn't about just having pictures pop up and going, hoo, look at this one.
But here's the deal. I get mad at people who get so upset and perturbed by the fact that these people are getting more followers than them. But I also get just as mad as, like, people kind of defending the, like, any dude, girl, whatever, that are using their physical attributes to get followers. They know what they're doing. They're smart. They're making money from it. Like, good for you. Just like someone who's really smart starting a business or doing, like, everyone has different avenues to excel in whatever avenue. Like, just stop getting so bitchy. It's just jealousy. It's just silly. And the fact that guy said that, which wasn't that bad, it's just weird that he decided he needed to fold and walk away from it.
I mean, it was probably the bosses going, oh, we got a blah, 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 blah. Sponsors.
Yeah.
Blah, blah.
Well, Jim, I guess that's just another random podcast or beer-related site that I'll have to not pay attention to.
As if we paid attention to it before.
Exactly. It's a good article, but it does, as Jim said, it is a pretty damn good well, it's an interesting transition to our next topic. For anyone who's been on Twitter or in video game news, whatever the hell it is, you might have seen a trailer.
I'm sure you have.
Or I should say, for the full motion video game Gamer Girl. And this comes to us from Wales Interactive. Okay. Oh, man, there's so much to unpack with this one.
You said you had a lot to say, so...
I do have a lot to say.
Do we need beers first? Do we need beers first before this?
You know what? Yeah, let's grab a little beer, because
let's get our spinach.
I'm gonna ramble.
Popeye needs a spinach.
Before we go on, and I ramble too much, which I'm sure I will, but I'm going to try to really throttle myself here. Jim, I want to hear about that beer you got.
All right, the first one I went through, the Double Scatterbrain. Very, very nice double IPA. Does not drink like a double IPA. I would say drinks like almost a lighter single IPA. You get when it hits you, you just get the hops straight up on your tongue. Then it goes into a nice, very citrusy feel, but not overbearingly like acidic or astringent in the back end. And then you get like the hops and the barley mixture when it's going down your throat. But nice little combination they have here. And for being 8%, it is very drinkable. So, like, it's not one of those ones where it's like, if you don't like IPAs, it's not like a great starter one because you do have that IPA bitterness to it. But it's a very, very solid one. And I would say if you like citrusy ones, this is one to keep an eye out for.
Okay, nice. And honestly, I've talked enough. There's nothing more I can say about how much I love this this beer. If you get a chance to find it. I think it was a seasonal or a rotating or limited release. Their standard one is just a chocolate, but if you can find it, do it. And now moving on to the Hot Belly IPA, which I talked about last podcast. Very drinkable, easy, like session style IPA, even though I hate that word. It's a weird mixture, doing such a strong stout with an IPA, but all I got is weird shit to mix anyway. So I figure this is probably going to be the easiest on my system.
There you go. And next up, I have from the Barrel Brothers Brewing Company out of Sonoma County, California, the Batch Don't Kill My Vibe West Coast IPA. Good beer, malto, hoppy, a small batch West Coast IPA by Barrel Brothers. All right, that didn't give me a lot. Track list: 2-row malt, white wheat, Golden Promise, dry English ale yeast, CTZ hops, dry hop. I don't need your ingredients. Where's the alcohol? Okay. Style notes. Batch Don't Kill My Vibe is an instant classic West Coast classic. What? Is an instant West Coast classic. I cannot read. A small batch IPA with piney hop bitterness and tropical citrus notes. The malt character is understated with a dry finish to let the layered hop flavors and aromas take center stage. 7.5% alcohol by volume. All right.
Nice.
Give us a go.
Well, that'll be interesting. All right. So
back to Gamer Girl. Ooh, boy.
Yeah, it was a much hotter topic when it was released.
It died out quick.
July 17th. It really died really fast. But for that day, which was Friday, I saw it. It was blowing up, and basically because of you and everyone we follow, I was seeing comments on it left and right from some more popular people we follow, just across the board. I'm not going to name names, but essentially. The link is below if you haven't already seen it. The best way I can describe it is it's think like Night Trap, and the idea is you are a moderator on a Twitch girl's stream. Not her stream, but like you're a moderator for a streamer. But yeah, it becomes more like you are making decisions for her because you're not only helping her with her stream, but then she says like, hey, do you think I should go out to the bar tonight? Or do you want to come? So yeah, you start, for whatever reason, she's texting you, her new moderator, about what she's doing in life. And so you, in a theory, control her destiny to a certain degree. What I will say is the second I clicked that thing, I first thought it was a completely fake game.
That's what a lot of people thought.
But the music in the background, I was like, oh, this is this is just like a horror game. Like most full motion video games, one way or another, become a horror game. I've never played a full motion video game that didn't have some kind of horror twist. Like Her Story, Night Trap, as I said earlier, all the old PC classic ones.
Phantasmagoria, Seventh Guest.
Yeah, like they all become horror. And that music, it was like very 80s retro music, but it had that synth sound that automatically, as soon as I heard it, I was like, all right, this is probably going to turn horror. And then when I was watching it, it's a pretty decent long trailer. What is it? Like,
minute and a half.
Minute and a half. Really? That's it?
Yeah, it feels.
I thought it was much longer.
Feels longer.
Okay, so you go through this whole thing. Like, you see her, like, doing her stream, and like you said, you're answering her questions. And by the end, it's very clear it can become a horror game. So when I saw that, I said, okay, this is just a weird, like, it was very not... It was shot with, like, a camera, the same kind of camera I'm actually using right now. Like, it looked like a DSLR. It didn't look like super high quality. I was like, oh, it's a small team that put together this game where you just have options to play out whatever the hell they recorded. I didn't think really much more than that. I was like, it's kind of a weird game. I'm not going to play it. The first thing I thought about is, oh dear God, the amount of people that are going to have reaction videos to this game or live streams and make money off of doing this game. And like, can you believe I made her do this? Like, that's where my mind went. And then I started reading the comments, and oh boy, 98% of the initial comments were all, there obviously was not a single woman in the room when this game was made, or this is the most toxic, what's the word, like simp-based game where guys can live out their fantasy, da-da-da-da-da.
Right. How many times did you say, that ain't it? That ain't it, Chief? How many times did you see that? How many hundreds of times did you see that?
No, I saw more like, read the room, and I can't believe something like this. The words toxic and this and that are being thrown around, and this is complete garbage. But more than anything, I just kept seeing, like, yeah, there was not a single woman involved with making this game. But then what was interesting is I was like, let me read some of these comments. And some people that were rebuking a lot of these comments, like, posted actual articles. And what it turned out was this game was actually built. It was co-written by the actress who's playing the main gamer girl. And she actually had many conversations with female streamers who had creepy moderators. And it obviously never got to the level as what this game suggests. But they said, oh, this is a really creepy premise. This is my story. This is like whatever. So in theory, it was very much involved by women who stream and women who whatever. And it's a horror game at the end of the day. It's not meant to be an actual simulator for you to control this woman. There is supposed to be a narrative that drives to a horror plot. Why people are upset that it's a horror game, I think nobody even got to the end of the thing. I think they probably saw the first 20 minutes and how ridiculous it was and what you could do, and everyone's like, oh my God, now these pathetic dudes that just want to try to control women now have an outlet for it. And I'm like, yeah, there may be some of that, but at the end of the day, I just look at it, it's just a weird, low-budget horror game that's probably not going to be that great, to be honest. So what bothered me more than the initial outrage of people thinking it was that was what I always call the fake outrage of everyone wanting to show that they're on the right side of whatever fucking team.
The right side of history.
And they're like, oh, I'm so against this. And it was mostly dudes. And like I said, a lot of people, I'm not going to name, you and I know who I'm talking about. I just couldn't believe, like, that's what always bothers me. I'm like, you clearly didn't really watch it all. You're not reading anything about the actual game, but you just need to make your statement so you let everyone know where you stand. It's like, if you need to make those statements, I feel like usually you're someone who's hiding shit. Like, if I need to stand up and say, I'm not this, that's the first motherfucker you look at to say, you probably are like this. So these people doing that, it's a bad look right off the bat. Stop doing that shit. But also, how many goddamn streamers that commented on that will do exactly what I said, which is when it does come out, if it comes, I'm assuming it's still going to come out, we'll turn around and make videos on it and make a bunch of money to it. And they were so shocked and whatever by it, but they'll make their stupid ass reactions and they'll make their playthroughs and they'll make a ton of bank on it. It's like, it's really hypocritical. And why can't we just call it what it is? It's a goofy, silly indie, it looks indie game that's not going to be that well done. That'll have a weird horror twist. It has weird quirks to it that if you really want to read into the way everyone is, sure, it's pretty fucked up, but we've seen way worse things being made from other game developers that are a hell of a lot more problematic than this game. So I just, the absolute amount of outrage that Friday, I couldn't believe. And it's one of the problems I have is I go down that rabbit hole if I start reading people's comments, and I just can't stop. So I'm going to shut the fuck up and drink my beer.
Okay. So, when I start, here's the thing. Does this game look good? No. It looks like a bad game. It doesn't look great. Here's what I call it after seeing a couple days. I'm the internet guy. This is just fucking Night Trap of our generation. This is Night Trap for Zoomers. And instead of a bunch of old senators being pissed off, it's a bunch of, streamers being pissed off because it's the thing that affects them. But I'm not going to take that away from them because as a unsuccessful male YouTuber, I don't know the plight of the successful female YouTuber out there who has to deal with the simps and who has to deal with the creepy mods. And especially in today's environment where right now we're in the middle of Twitch being torched for all of the problems that go on during gaming conventions and Twitch conventions of all the sexual harassment and the very public stalker problem that a very high-profile streamer like Sweet Anita is going through right now. So I think this is a combination of a terrible trailer with terrible timing. So it just turned into this big shitstorm out of nowhere. So, from Wales Interactive, I forget if they're the actual I think they're the publisher of it. I think because Wales is known for publishing some good and making some good FMV games. They didn't make this game, they just published it. So, from their exact statement, Gamer Girls about the impact user comments and actions have on streamers' mental health and well-being. The reason why FMV Future made it. Created the game was to raise the issue of the toxic environment which can often appear behind the anonymity of a username. Without giving away too much, Gamer Girl is an empowering story of a female streamer who, with the help of her moderator friend, battles the trolls and overcomes the toxic characters in her stream. Gamer Girl was co-written by Alexandra Burton, the lead actress who improvised the entire script. The research into the streaming content of Gamer Girl took 4 years, and the dev team at FMV Future interviewed dozens of female streamers, most of whom had experienced abuse of various kinds online. Some have even shared their experiences during interviews within the game. Players start the game as one of Abby's friends who she trusts, and it is their job to make her channel a success, but also to guide the stream to keep Abby in a positive frame of mind. Online abuse is real and still happening every day. Gamer Girl seeks to raise awareness of this issue. So, obviously, to your point, most of the people who reacted immediately reacted to the trailer, and it's a really bad trailer if this is the message that you're trying to get across. Like, I can see how every female streamer in the world immediately went, no, wrong. Like, they're all complaining about how you're, like, gamifying a personal experience that people have and stuff like that, which, I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but it's kind of a thing that people have been doing for years. I guess it's because I don't think there would be this much vitriol if it was written by a female streamer who actually went through it. Like, no one complains about Depression Quest because Zoe Quinn, the girl's depressed, or any story that has a really personal tone that was written by the person who experienced it. This was written by a team who went out and talked to people who experienced it. So,
but it was co-written by the actress.
Right, it was co-written by the actress who, and it's also like it's improvised. Like there wasn't really a straight up script to it. So,
well, one other thing. Sorry to interrupt,
no,
but
fine.
The other thing, and this goes back to you and I've talked about this many times. When I play video games, I'm playing through Skyrim right now, and I'm trying to be an evil character, and I still feel bad about stealing money from shit. I didn't look at it like you could automatically go to this negative place. Like, maybe there's a weird ending where you're just happy and you help her stream and you're a good mod and that's it. Like, I feel like the decision is yours. Obviously, the trailer is very geared towards negative.
Right.
But while you were just talking, one of the things their statement released almost makes it sound like, are you there to almost try to help her and she is being stalked by someone else? Like, why is it guaranteed that you
Here's
are
the thing,
the stalker?
you don't know. Like,
that's my point. Like, you just said that, and I'm like, oh shit, maybe the person itself isn't the stalker. So we don't know.
because there's an implied like abusive relationship with the boyfriend too, that kind of thing. Because during the stream, it's like, you know, the guy's going like, oh, what, are you streaming again? Like, shit like that. So maybe it's the boyfriend, or maybe it's a very branching path kind of story, apparently, from what they say. So maybe let's get one thing out of the way right now. This is something that, for the most part, I'm not saying about the creepy stalkerness of it, but the side where a Twitch streamer has that close of a personal relationship with one of their fucking moderators, that does not happen. No,
Jim, one other thing we're all assuming. What if the moderator is female?
That's a thing too.
They don't actually say that it's a male, but everyone.
What if that's a twist?
Some man wants it. Well, and here's the deal. We are fucking brand spanking new to Twitch.
Oh yeah.
I don't. Is it common for people to have moderators that aren't people they already know?
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah, no.
feel,
basically, moderators turn into super fans or the super simps, like the ones who want to have that closer relationship to their favorite streamer. But you know, the streamer's like, oh, okay, if you want to help out with my chat, go ahead. Or you know, some are employees, some they pay them to moderate it and make sure that they're not, you know, dropping N-bombs and shit like that, which obviously you need. So
no, but that's my question. Like, a moderator, I looked at like somebody, like a situation like me and you. If I'm streaming, you run the site with me. You're moderating because you have a vested interest in the site. So you're saying straight up, just like a fan for no fee or no whatever would just be like, yeah, I'll be your moderator and I'll manage part of your career for you.
Oh yeah, I mean they're managing the chat. They're not managing. See, a weird part of this game too is like, moderate the chat to help them grow in their subscribers and likes and shit like that. It's like, motherfucker, that is not what a moderator does. Moderators have no control over that shit. Like, in a lot of ways, like, the game is very off base in a lot of ways to like what really happens with like streamers and Twitch and whatever platform you have. Like, it's assuming a very personal role, which I'm like, once again, I'm probably speaking out my ass, but I'm gonna say, like, I'll say a good 95% of the time, most high-level Twitch streamers and streamers in general do not give a personal fuck about their moderators. They're either employees or super fans who are doing it just to help them. So right off the bat, it's like, all right, this is something that'll probably never happen. Now, the creepy side of it and the over-obsessive side, look, we're both dads of girls. I hope to God my daughter wants to be, like, an actuary scientist and doesn't want to be a fucking, like, TikToker or a Twitch streamer or want to be involved in the internet in like any goddamn way. Like, please don't put yourself through that. But like, it's the thing where like it's not I'm just gonna say it's not easy for girls. It's not easy for women it's way harder for them online than it is for men.
Forget that. Like, I just like you said, we do have girls. I don't care what they become. Be smart enough that, like, in that trailer, it suggests that she's convinced by his moderator to go to a creepy boat by herself. Don't be stupid enough to do that. I don't care who you are. Don't be that person.
And then that's part of the argument where it's like, oh, so they're just assuming that, like, Twitch moderators are this dumb, and that's where it becomes like, yeah, well, that's where this is a bad game. Like,
and that's what I'm saying. It's going to be... I feel like you made it the fucking nail on the head. It's Night Trap. It's going to be overacted, goofy. Like, people were bitching about, like, they were playing, what was it, Mario Kart 8 or like...
No, they were playing like a knockoff, like Garfield Kart, like shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and like they're like kind of goofy about it. It's like, yes, everything about this is going to be overacted. Terribly
it's an FMV game.
Yeah, like people. It's funny. You said that this is a terrible trailer released at a terrible time. I actually take it as they probably thought they struck gold because they know all this shit's going on in the news with Twitch streamers, and it's bad publicity, but it gets people talking about a game that if this shit was not going on, nobody would ever know about this game.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Ever.
Yeah, I mean, like it got pulled. The trailer, not the game, but the trailer got pulled off of the PlayStation Store. And here's the thing that you see in a lot of these comments sections, and I'm sure you've seen it, and you already touched on it. A lot of people going, "Man, this game is disgusting and it's problematic, but boy, can I not wait to watch my favorite streamer play it." It's like, what?
Exactly.
What?
That's my point.
No, that's not how this works.
Like I want to hold everyone to task that every major streamer, every major YouTuber. That
if you bitch about it, do not fucking play this.
Do not get this game. Do not get your free review copy. Do not go out and make a video that's going to get millions of views that you turn around and make money. And if you do, then you better fucking turn around and support every Twitch streamer that has had a legit issue with the stock. Like, put your money where your mouth is. Don't be that fucking hypocritical. If you want to stand for something, fucking stand for it. But don't be a little bitch and sit there and talk about how terrible this is and this is toxic. And then release content where you make money off it. That's the shit that really... That got to me. Where I'm like, I know half these people that are bitching about it that are more popular are for sure going to play it. And their start of every one of their videos is going to be like... I can't believe I'm about to play this game. It's so crazy, but all right, here we go. Let's do this. And it's just going to be ridiculous.
And it's like anything else on the internet. The only saving grace, at least, is this is, like we said when we started this topic, it died down instantly. So, like, we're recording this on Monday the 20th, and no one's talking about today anymore. So, like, it's kind of thing where everyone was outraged for a day, and then they went, we don't really care anymore. Yeah. So it'll probably kick up again once the game actually releases. I forget what the release date is. I don't really care enough. But, like, it's coming out on, like, fucking everything, including the Switch. So, I mean, hey, I have my bare titty shmup on the Switch, so the Switch will just publish fucking anything.
Here's the deal. Now I because I wasn't bitching about the game, I want to play just for the sake of being like, how bad is this? How laughable is the overacting?
It's Night Trap for Zoomers. That's what it is. This is such an overreaction. Like, maybe I'm just old, or maybe it's just, like, everyone who's very loud about it is, like, I can't take away the fact that 98% of the female streamers I saw who commented on this went, no. Like, this is not it. Like, shit like that, which I'm not in their shoes, so I can't say it, but it's just, like, I just, fuck. It just seems like such an overreaction to me. Like, it's like, here's the thing, like, the people who are saying that this is going to encourage people to be stalkers and shitty mods and stuff like that, like, no, it isn't. Like, it's almost
well, that's the same argument of if you play Call of Duty, it makes you want to shoot up people.
That's what I was about to get to. For years we've been making the argument that video games don't cause violence. So if you're going to still be making that argument, then you can look at a dumb game like this and go, you can't say video games is going to cause stalkery rapers. Like, you can't have one without the other in my mind. Like, it's either video games are pure escapist fantasy and, you know, dumb shit, or video games are completely problematic and, you know, we have to play Barney's speak and spell the entire time. Like, there's no goddamn in between.
Yeah, and what you just said, the whole thing, if it's a female streamer who went through this and is like, okay,
and my heart's out to you, like, for fuck's sake, like, no, like, I don't, like,
that I'm
people
cool with,
people
yeah.
like to say, like, oh, well, if you put yourself out there, you should expect it. Like, no, it doesn't matter what even fucking strippers should not expect to be stalked. Like, even if they're selling the idea of sex, like, no one deserves for whatever work they do to be stalked and shit like that. Like, no, you don't deserve that crap.
Which, if that was what I saw, if I saw the majority, if it was just comments coming from them, it wouldn't have even blipped on my radar. But as I said, the majority of it was male. Some streamers, some not streamers, some doing whatever, who won't have a fucking iota. But as I said, they're just trying to plant their fucking flagpole and say, "Look at me, I'm this person that does this." It's a bad look.
Oh yeah, there are so many good boys and so many simps, like, commenting on their favorite girl streamers, being like, "Oh, this is completely disgusting. I hope, you know, they blah 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 blah." Like, it's like, dude, shut the fuck up.
That's my point, like, and that's really where it It just got to me. So
sorry,
I definitely rambled on for a while.
It screamed phony outrage. We actually cut a lot of topics before this episode, knowing we were going to talk about this for a while. So
yeah. So just we have a small, and we appreciate our audience, but good God, if you listen to this and you're outraged by something, you better be legit outraged. Don't do it to earn social points. Don't do it to just show the world that you're this or that. Like, if you're truly, truly in your core outrage, fine. But a lot of you motherfuckers that were writing about this are not, and you could care less, and you're going to try and make money off of it. So stop with the phony shit, dude. Just fucking grow up.
Yeah, and look, if the game comes out and every storyline turns out with, like, the boyfriend or the fucking mod going crazy and stalking and killing the girl, then of course disavow. It's a terrible game no matter what. It's even worse than we thought it was. But I can't believe it's going to be like this. And, like, the people who are saying it's going to empower the stalkers, like, no, it's fucking not. Like, no one's going to play this game and be like, oh my God, they're right, I can do this. Like, no one's going to fucking say that.
People, they just want to use whatever they can.
If you're a shithead, you're a shithead. You're going to be doing it anyway. Like fucking Gamer Girl on the PS3 store. It's not going to be the thing that's going to make you do it. For fuck's sake.
Yeah. So, we want to see what your comments are below, guys. I mean, most people follow us. We've seen comments, what you've had. You've seen Jim and I comment on this. But I want to hear it below in YouTube or wherever you're listening to. So, let us know below. And if you didn't already, like I said, check out the trailer. Think for yourself. Tell us what you think. Like I said, I think there's a lot we don't know. We don't know truly, is the moderator, is the intent to be this creepy dude? Or are you helping her against a creepy dude? Like, whatever the case is, let's find out. So, we rambled. Yeah. And I knew we would.
Yep.
But it's all right. So we're moving on to much...
happier topics.
Wait, Jim, are you ready for this transition? We're moving on to much lighter topics.
I hate myself.
I hope you pooped yourself.
A little bit.
So we're going back to Which is Better, one of our recurring bits.
I'm dizzy now.
Damn it, Jim. And Jim put this up here, and I hate him already. Which is better, cheap light beer or hard seltzer? And if you know this page, you know I give Jim all the shit in the world for his hard seltzer. Yes. Now, can we categorize, what do you define as cheap light beer? Like, would you say Miller Lite is cheap light beer?
Yeah, or standard light beer. So
you just mean light beer.
Coors Light, okay. Miller Lite, Bud Light, Keystone Light, shit like that, yeah.
All right. So for me, this is a very simple, cheap light beer is better. Oh shit, hold on 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. Camera died real quick. But getting back to my point of the which is better, I'm going to say this is a fairly easy one for me. And I'm going to say cheap light beer simply because the ease and the utility of drinking. If you're drinking either of these, you don't care that much about quality. Let's put it that way. And at the end of the day, as Jim, his favorite, just like he likes to say unironically with drinks, his newest word is refreshing. Whether you think hard seltzer is refreshing or not, if you have to pound through a bunch of them when playing beer pong or flip cup, your stomach is going to feel like shit, because the only hard seltzer I've ever had was actually at Jim's house, and it probably was a White Claw. And I was like, oh, this is like old school Mike's Hard Lemonade or this or that. Like, after a while, the fruit, sugar, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, doesn't sit so well. And if you're pounding them back, you're not going to feel great. Whereas a really cheap light beer, be it Miller Lite, Bud Light, Keystone, whatever, you can drink a bunch of those, and you could literally go through 12. You might get drunk, but you're going to pee most of it out. So that's the party beer. No one is going and chugging cans of hard seltzer. No one is doing any of that. And if you like hard seltzer better than cheap beer, you're probably someone who might have one or two cans at a top, and then you're really drunk. That's all I can say.
And, yeah, my answer as well will also be cheap light beer, because for a simple fact, Brian, you know me. I'm a connoisseur of the cheap light beers and the hard seltzers. I don't know if I've ever gotten truly drunk off hard seltzers. even drinking like a case of them.
I'm sure you have.
Maybe tipsy-ish, but never. I've never had that good, pure, like drunk feeling that I've had from like cheap light beers. Like you drink hard beers, you get drunk faster, but it's the same kind of drunk. I don't know if it's a different drunk with seltzers, but I never felt like I had the same level of drunkitude that I could have just by pounding shitloads of cheap light beer. So I will also, let's just say utilitarian-wise, no one's going to be at a college party for beer pong and getting kegs. No one's going to get a kegs of White Claw. You're going to get a keg of, Natty Light or shit like that. So just for the usefulness.
Wait, Jim, hold on. Just so I know, what is the average alcohol percentage of a hard seltzer?
I think it's like 5. I think it's around 5.
All right, so it's in the same range as a cheap light beer.
Yeah, it's got a little bit more, like a little tinge more. Light beer,
I've
the lights are like
never
4 to
been
2 to 4
drunk.
to 5, something like that.
All right, so here's another stupid question. Like I said, the 2 I've had were at your place, and it was like a black cherry hard one,
Delicious.
and I forget the other flavor, but it was instantly, I was just like, oh, okay. It's kind of like people who've never had seltzer water have it. There's some people who love seltzer water, and others it's like it's not for
Right.
me. What is the alcohol in that? Is it like more equivalent to, like I said, it is kind of almost like a Smirnoff, right?
I mean, the percentage-wise or like the type of alcohol you mean?
I'm trying to think the type, because it's not being made off of hops, and it's not being fermented off of the like barley and shit like that. So what is it being fermented with?
To be honest, I have no idea.
That's what I'm interested in. Is it more like a vodka, like a corn? I mean, it could be corn, it could be rice, who knows? But
I would
way,
guess rice, probably.
Because I don't know what type of... I don't even want to imagine what the type of drunk, because if anyone out there has ever had too many...
Who's ever been hungover from seltzers? That's what I want to see.
I feel bad, because that really high level of carbonation, and I remember getting drunk off of things like Mike's Hard Lemonade and the Twisted Teas, and dude, I feel like those hangovers are rough. They feel different, and I don't know how else to explain.
They're on
they're
on the level of like cheap wine hangovers. Like if you've ever been hungover off like Sutter Home, which I have a lot.
That's what your house is run by, Jim. What are you talking about?
No. She drinks slightly better than that, but like
it's still boxed mostly.
No, Sutter Home's worse than the most box wines. I was in an old band where we went through a phase of just like we're like, oh my god, we can get gigantic bottles of Sutter Home for $2 a piece. We're gonna get 10 bottles and go through them all, and then just have the worst fucking hangovers in the world, the worst headaches known to guy.
The wine hangovers are the instant headache hangovers.
Yeah, you will never have a worse headache than. I mean, outside of a straight up migraine, you will never have a worse headache than you will from a wine hangover, and your body's overheated, and you're not even like puking and shitting the same way. It's just a whole different body shutdown kind of experience.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's pretty rough. But yeah, seltzer hangover, it won't be to that level, but I just have to...
They have to be too watery.
It's going to be different.
It's got to be too watery.
I don't know. I don't know what it will be. I imagine it's like a vodka hangover or some other type of clear liquid hangover is all I can guess.
Maybe. So if you've ever had a vicious hangover from hard seltzer nights, let us know. Let us know your experience.
Yeah, and if you take taste out of it, because there are people like you who enjoy the taste of seltzers. I mean, here's the deal. I just go back to, if you're trying to get drunk and you need good flavor, seltzer shouldn't be your thing. And maybe you're not a beer drinker and this is a good in-between. I don't get why. Like, drink something hard. Do hard liquor. Like, I don't know what else to say. Unless you're in college and, as we're saying, nobody is playing beer pong or filling up kegs with fucking White Claw.
And if you are, then I pray for this generation.
Well, who knows, Jim?
It's a generation of me.
That's right. Unfortunately.
Finally, my time has come. 10 years too late.
You're like Chris Jericho, coming too late.
But he's still relevant, Brian.
Yeah.
Moving on.
All right, so I'm doing a little twist on our Which is Better. And we've done it in the past, and this is completely spawned from my recent adventures in streaming. Which is worse, respawning enemies in games, and typically it's older 16-bit and lower games, or when you have absolutely pixel perfect jumps. And what I mean by that is not necessarily like this is a difficult jump. This is a jump where when you watch a character fall through, more than half its body is on the platform it's supposed to land on, but God forbid you're not that one pixel over to the right where you really need to be. And it stops you dead in your tracks. It's a full waste of a life. Which one is worse, and which one is more annoying to you? Because going through Frankenstein's monster, those had those pixel perfect jumps, but going through Nightmare on Elm Street, it was those damn respawning enemies. And I think the best example that more people would probably understand would be like Castlevania or Ninja Gaiden. Respawning enemies in those games they're just fucking brutal. Like, you take a half inch off the screen and they're back. Or sometimes they literally just come back in the same exact spot. But like I said, then you have games like Frankenstein's Monster and even Nightmare on Elm Street to a degree had annoying jumps, but none that would kill you. So I'm thinking of jumps where you would die completely. So for you, Jim, what's worse?
You know what? I think I'm going to go with respawning enemies. Just because with pixel perfect jumps, you can practice enough that you can eventually learn the quirks of it. Whereas with respawning enemies, you can know where you can go back to for them to respawn. But it always just seems like there's always that little bit of randomness with what their pattern's going to be when they come out that can always just fuck you in the end. So, like, there's always going to be that respawning enemy or that you forget will be there, and then you try to, like, make a back jump, and then it hits you into a death pit or shit like that. So, it's just like, I went through all this hell to kill all these enemies. I have a very nice, clean screen. Oh, no. I slightly messed up what I was doing. I'm surrounded again, and now I'm dead. So, I think respawning enemies are way worse than pixel perfect jumps.
Okay. See, I was going to say pixel perfect jumps are worse, only for the reason that if you have respawning enemies, chances are you're in an older game, and most older games you could at least use that to your advantage to gain extra lives, like if you're gaining points. So you can almost use it to your advantage, where pixel perfect jumps, they just stop you dead in your tracks. Like, they fuck up your entire, like, you lose a whole life. And unless you're in a one-hit kill game from enemies, it's annoying. Like, you're not wrong. The pattern can be a bit more random, but, like, there's at least room for error. Whereas with those jumps, if you miss, and you might have done the jump 50 times in a row, but as I've said, there's that video game fatigue where you do the same level over and over, and you almost get a little cocky. You're like, I got this. I've done this enough. And you just don't pay attention at one time, and you're like, fuck. Like, you fall through, and it can, like, literally ruin that run for you. You're like...
Oh, for sure.
Whereas an enemy, it's annoying, but you can kind of be like, oh, okay, I just took a hit I shouldn't have, but fuck it. You saying what you just said, bro, I'm pissed because I almost wish I would have said respawning enemies or games where when you get hit, you get knocked back.
Haha.
Because that is I'll save that for another one. But yeah, I want to hear what everyone else out there thinks. For me, like I said, the pixel perfect jumps, they just fuck you way too hard. Whereas respawning enemies, yeah, you can kind of have wiggle room and work with them.
Look, I just gotta say, Medusa heads from Castlevania. So you tell me which is worse.
I'll still take those over jumps like Frankenstein's monster.
That is a next level pixel perfect bullshit jump. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Even the jumps in Castlevania were annoying as hell, and yes, some of them would cause you to die. The Medusas, at least, it was a simple. We're engineers, Jim. It's a wave pattern. Cosine.
Sine, cosine, cosine, sine.
So let us know what you guys think below, and then for our final topic tonight, Jim threw this up here. It's a reoccurring bit. Overrated, underrated. Beer Steins. And I gotta ask, what brought this on?
You know what brought it on? My dad has this ridiculous collection, shocker, of beer steins. Mm-hmm. Like, he has these old, like, heavy-ass wood fucking, cedar chests filled with all these, like, fancy-ass beer steins that really he's never used. It's all for the looking, not for the drinking. So
He's got a lot of that, as you said.
he has that with a lot of things. Used to have a lot of expendable income in his day. Before, well, yeah, never mind. But, yeah, so, beer steins, Brian. I'll throw it out to you first.
It's tough because there is a reason for... and for anyone who doesn't know, the best way to describe a beer stein, if you've never seen it and you don't feel like looking it up...
Imagine the glass like I have right here with a top.
Well, a glass is one way to put it, but the legit beer steins are ceramic or stone.
Oh, well, yeah.
They're usually pretty big, and they have a topper. The topper is a big part of a legit beer stein.
Keeps it from splashing out of there.
And they're they can be like $200-$300 easily. They really originated in England and Germany. And the thing was, it seems silly to us now, but actually it's kind of relevant to what we're going through. The steins were partially created with a hinged lid to avoid the Black Plague. It was at a time when water wasn't as prevalent and available, and I'm sure many of you might have heard from various movies or TV shows, but kids and everyone in England and Europe would drink ale with most of their food because it was actually cleansed water. So you couldn't just drink water, it wasn't purified. And during the Black Plague, they were trying to figure out ways to stop the spread of the disease. This was one of the ways of doing that. So that's where you get the little hinged top. So in Germany is where they really took off for the popularity. And it's for collecting, as Jim is saying. And it's a hobby. And usually they carry, I don't even know how many ounces, but it's easily like 2 beers worth, if not 3. The really big ones. I like it because there's something that feels traditional and very... royalty's the wrong word, but you kind of there's a different feel. Jim and I have pointed out, if you drink beer from a can, that's fine. You pour it into a glass, you get a different experience. If you're pouring a beer into a stein, you get a different experience depending on what you're holding. It's kind of like when a situation warrants a cigar, whether you're a cigar smoker or not, it gives you a certain pomp and circumstance. It just gives you a different feel. And when you drink a stein for a legit reason, whether you're at an Oktoberfest and you're celebrating, or it's just because you have a collectible item, it gives you just a certain sense of celebration, and you're treating yourself, and it's something that you've collected and appreciated. So like anything that's collected and appreciated, as long as it gets used, I'm going to say it's underrated. If it's just sitting on a shelf, unfortunately, like your dad, Jim, I'm going to say it's a bit underrated because it's very expensive, and what the hell is the point? Like if you're not out there using it once in a while, I don't like any form of collection for that reason. But I think if you go to a legit German beer hall, or if you go to an Oktoberfest or whatever, or even if you have your buddies over and you're celebrating some major life event and you pour beer in there, there's just a different feel of holding up that beer sign. It's like drinking out of a boot. That it enhances all your moods. So I'm going to go underrated.
All right, and I'll go on to overrated just for a lot of the reasons you said and for how I brought this up. In this day and age, there's no reason to have these things. It's all for show. It's all for,
It's like a TurboGrafx 16.
Sir?
Go ahead.
TurboGrafx is very useful. It's underrated.
Go ahead.
It's loved by the people with superior taste.
Yeah, but there's no reason for it because there's better things.
It has exclusive games that you can't find anywhere else. It has exclusive games. That's so my brain. It's not interchangeable like a lot of the other goddamn things, like a beer stein. Look, in this day and age, there's, like you said, it was good during the Black Plague when you were trying to keep rats out of your beer. In this day and age, unless you're at a beer hall or
COVID. You want to keep COVID out of your beer.
Okay, yeah, you got to keep the coof out of your goddamn beer. That's what you're going to do. You should be outside the goddamn anyway. But
yeah, Jim, you shouldn't be.
How dare you, sir? But yeah, I mean, look, in this day and age, there's no need for it. It's nice, it's cute, and look, I have the collector mentality. And, God forbid, whenever my old man finally passes, I'll be the one who'll be taking all those goddamn beer steins. So there'll be another thing that I'll have shelves and shelves of bullshit on my walls that, I might use, might never use. Who's to say? Who's to say, Brian? Who's to say in this day and age? But who's to say that on a nice Christmas morning I won't want to break out that polar bear Coca-Cola beer stein that my dad had.
I also look at it.
But just back to your point. It's like in today's market, there's no need for it. It's niche. It's a cute little cutesy thing to have. So of course, around today, it's just you don't need it. It's overrated.
And here's the deal. I get that, but I almost argue, unlike a lot of things that are unfortunately turned to collector's items, which I don't think have true value, the thing with most beer steins is they are handcrafted, and there is a certain there are ones that are mass-produced, and I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the ones that if you do spend some money on, this is a one-of-a-kind thing. Is there a purpose for them? There's only a purpose if you use them. And it is almost a unique, just this is like people who collect shot glasses or people who collect coffee mugs or whatever. We all have our favorite drinking utensils or whatever, glassware. And some steins are clearly made just for decoration. Whether you like it or not, as Jim said, he's not wrong. There's definitely not a need, but if this is what you're into and you're into beer, and if you're into German beer specifically, maybe it is worth it to you. The price point is where it's really tough, and you really need to be into them. So, most of you who probably watch us aren't into beer enough to really probably think it's overrated or underrated, but if any of you do have family members like Jim and you do have people who collect these or you do it yourself, send us some pictures because we want to see them, because I do like some of the designs are crazy, and one of my favorites are the ones where they're stupid large. You can get ones that are straight up 5 to 10 gallons.
Oh yeah,
they can hold a ton of liquid. And there would be something so crazy about all right, Jim, here's you like hard seltzer, drink 8 gallons of it.
Yeah, right. That's actually a video I should do one day. Just take either my camera or even my cell phone to my parents' house and just go through the walls of steins that my dad has, because he has a shitload. And they are pro.
Does he still have that full room of collection?
Oh, yeah.
You should go through that for that. Anyone when they investigate serial killers or people who do some terrible shit and
very
let's
nice.
Go back to
very nice to start that with my dad. Do you know people who are just bad? Do you know bad people with rooms?
But Jim, who makes terrible decisions and is a shelf collector of video games, if you go, it's go back to the childhood home, and you go into this one room, and it's impressive as shit. But it would, as a kid, and I think I saw that. I was
we were college age, 18, 19.
18 years old in college. Dude, I walked in that room and I thought I was in a friggin' toy store. The collection is immense and very impressive. And just at that age, where I haven't played with toys in years, I was like, oh my God, I just want to play with everything. So I couldn't imagine being a little Jimmy Wimmy Pants sitting there with Dorito crumbs all over my dingleberries and being like, oh man, I can't play with any of these, but they're so perfectly preserved. And years later, you're collecting goddamn TurboGrafx games.
See, the funny thing about that is when my dad started getting into collecting toys and shit like that is when I was getting out of it too. So it was a weird transition where he was retiring from his old career, but he had an early program for early retirement and he got a shitload of money. He's like, oh, I'll do this investment and here's a hobby, I can keep up with this crap. So it's probably because he didn't have a lot as a kid. So it's probably along the same lines as me, where it's oh, I only had these games that I was allowed to have, so now I can have all the games. So now I'm going to have everything that I can get.
But it clearly influenced the shit out of you. You are doing that exact same thing.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's my point. And it's not, I'm not saying obviously I'm not suggesting you're a serial killer. What I'm saying is, it's a very clear window into how you are the way you are. And the room, like I said, it looks awesome. And I haven't been there in many, many years, but I remember being in awe just back then. So I was like, holy shit, there's a lot of stuff. But like I said, when you see Jim, you see his game room, it's almost structured very similarly, and you can see an order to it the same way. So it's ingrained in you, Jim. That's for sure.
Yep. It's like a pit bull, Brian. It's nature. It's nurture over nature. Is that what they say?
That's nothing to do with what we were talking about. But
Look, Brian, I could have grown up to not be a collector, but that's how I was nurtured. That's all.
hey, everyone has free will, Jim. But we have predispositions. Let's put it that way. But you know what? You brought up a good goddamn point. And there's one very, very last topic. Because you just talked about this goddamn collecting. And you sent me a link on Twitter. And it was a carryover. And what I like is it seems like still more people agree with me than you.
What? Who has?
Most people agree that it's a pretty fucking stupid thing this guy was doing.
He admits it's stupid.
And it's very stupid.
You just have an irrational hatred towards it. That's all. That's my point.
Here, my hatred is you like it so much.
I don't even like it that much. I just like that you hate it so much. That's what I like.
No, as you said.
I did say I unironically love it. But I like even more how much you hate it, even more than how much I like looking at it.
Yeah, of course. But here's the deal. So Jim sent me,
hot.
for any of you who don't know, some asshole out there is collecting 380 carts. I think that's the number.
I can't believe we're still talking about this. Jesus fucking Christ.
Well, you send me articles. I'm going to bring it up on the podcast. So Jim decided to send me an article. I don't know when it was written. I didn't read that.
It just came out today, I think, on Vice Gaming, probably.
Yeah, which makes sense because, Vice fucking credibility of them went down the pooper chute a long time ago. But this is Vice Gaming, which I didn't even know there was a section of Vice Gaming. And they did an article on this guy, this asshole, who has been collecting this for many, many years. And apparently he's been a collector of all sorts of things. He's probably got human bones and who knows what else. He would probably love that Gamer Girl game. But that article did nothing more than really help me. Just like when I looked at his profile, like it just solidified like, oh, okay, this is just really stupid reasoning. And when your reason for doing something is, I really like the way it looked to have a whole shelf full of this particular thing. And one thing I noticed, as someone, if you're going to go out of your way to have a whole shelf of one cart, there's so many discolorations with the carts that it actually doesn't even look uniform, so it doesn't even look that good. Like, if you're going to do some stupid shit like that, at least do it right. Like, get good-looking carts, go out of your way. That dude's a half-asser if I've ever seen one, even for buying 380 carts. And there's no good reason.
You buy 380 good-looking carts of something.
I would never.
You buy 380 good-looking Resident Evils, motherfucker. I want to see how that looks.
I would never do that because
there's a challenge.
That's my favorite game, but it's fucking stupid. And that number's arbitrary. It literally is because
it fills up
he
a
thought
shelf.
he owned. No, exactly. He thought he needed like 180.
It doesn't
and he's
matter.
like, oh, my shelf is
I didn't even read the
So-
article. I just sent it to you because I knew it was going to piss you off.
But that's my point. You send it to me, we're going to talk about it.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So, Jim, here's what we need you
All
to
right.
do. Is stop unironically liking very stupid
Never.
things. We know you, as we've learned, you have this twisted childhood of looking at box things on walls, which has now made you appreciate assholes who go out and buy 380 copies of a single game, and you think it's cool looking. Just stop liking that.
No?
All right, then I'm going to keep keeping you up later than you should be to talk about these terrible decisions that you keep making.
Well, I didn't even make I didn't make this decision. There was no decision that I made
You
on
did.
this. I just sent you an article.
Your decision was to write, I unironically really like
Oh,
this.
Jesus Christ.
So, your what you write has consequences, Jim. I'm holding you
All right,
to
you know what?
task.
Fuck you, motherfucker. I'm going to start right now. I'm going to build a goddamn wall, a monument in my house to Art Alive on the Sega Genesis. And I will find every cart that I goddamn can, and I will make, and that's a smaller cart than an NES cart. So I'll have 736 carts of Art Alive.
Well, not if you use the box.
That's a good point. I am a crazy collector for the Genesis, so it will be boxes.
Yeah, exactly.
So it'll probably be like
Dumbass.
probably like 200. Yeah, 200 Arts
Number
Alive.
one,
200 Art Alive.
this is what-
If you people see Art Alive, you let me know, and I will get that goddamn
Here's
Art
the
Alive
deal.
from you. And my wife will divorce me.
I was gonna say I have a through line to your wife, and I can get that vetoed really quick. So I'd like you to start that goal, and then I have her help me veto it.
Look, I said last
Yeah,
I said last
exactly.
episode, give me virtual chess on the Atari or give me Art Alive in box on the Genesis. Cheap games, easy games. Send it all to me, and I will make my wall, and I will have my masterpiece.
And as I
will
said
have
before,
my revenge.
I will make sure I come over there and I take them all from you and I hide them somewhere in the world, and I give you a treasure map where you have to find each copy.
Answer me these questions 3 in Art of Life. You will finally see.
Exactly. So, guys, let us know what you think below, and if you ever have topics for us you want us to touch on, please reach out. Jim, with that last beer you just finished, what'd you think?
This was a very good IPA right here. When I was first starting to drink it, I don't know if it's because I had the other one before it, but this had like very little bitterness, very extremely smooth. Like as I was taking sips, it was slightly hoppier than maybe a stronger ale, but like to me, it wasn't even hitting that like IPA like threshold on there. So if you're not an IPA fan, and I know I say this a lot, but this more than a lot of them, go with the batch don't kill my vibe. Like this is such an easy drinking one. Flavor wise, very IPA-ish, but mouthfeel wise, it will not, turn you off to it.
Nice. And I talked about Hot Belly last time. It's an IPA that goes down real easily. So if you're someone who doesn't like IPAs, that is probably a perfect one for you to try to maybe get you in the mood for it. But with that, guys, once again, we truly appreciate all the support on Patreon. If you're following us on YouTube, if you're not, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. We're available on iTunes, Spotify, literally anywhere you can get podcasts. So if you can, subscribe to us there.
Brian, here's
yes.
a desperate play. If you have a comment that you want to give to us about this podcast and you listen to it on any of our audio versions like Spotify or iTunes, leave a comment on the YouTube video to help the algorithm for us. Give us a boost.
We would definitely appreciate it.
We respond.
That. Yeah,
we respond to
so
everything. So for the love of God, give us some fucking...
wherever... I mean, you can email us, go to our
shut the
site.
fuck up. Just go to YouTube. Just go to YouTube.
Just go to YouTube. Whatever Jim's obsessed with that number. But we also, I really, once again, want to say thank you to everyone who's been supporting us on
Yeah, for real.
Twitch. The growth has been amazing, and I can't thank you enough. I'm going to keep doing that as regularly as possible. And until next time, guys, I just want to say cheers.
Cheers.